Whoa, it's been a long time. What's going on, everybody? It's another episode of Filmstruck Film Club. I'm your host, Carson. This is my buddy Groot, and this is our first Film Club pick of the new year. Welcome back! Maybe this is your very first time, in which case, welcome for the very first time. We're the Filmstruck Film Club. We watch a movie every week. We did take the month off, so, I think it's the longest break I've ever taken from this club, which is interesting. But hey, you know what? We did get, I don't know if you keep track of it like this, but we were going to watch the new Sight and Sound poll, number one film, Jean Dillman, if that's even how you say it. But I tried, I really did, and I fell asleep for the entire runtime of that film. So I'm going to try it again another time. And in the meantime, we picked something else. We picked a great movie this week that happens to be streaming on Netflix right now. So if you're watching this kind of right now, you can check out the movie, and I really recommend you check it out. We watched a film from 2012 that is directed by my, just the love of my life, S.S. Rajamouli, who, if you've been keeping track with the current batch of films that are up for awards and things, maybe you've even seen the review because we watched the film here, but the Critics' Choice Award for Best International Film just recently went to RRR, by S.S. Rajamouli, which is just the greatest news, and Natu Natu is out here getting Best Original Song at the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice, and we've all got our fingers crossed for RRR getting a bunch of Oscar nominations. But because of that film's great success right now at the awards circuit, I thought it'd be fun to check out Rajamouli's earlier film from 2012. I've watched this man's other two most recent movies, Bahubali 1 and 2, and if you've never seen Bahubali, you gotta check it out. It's like Game of Thrones in India, but even more exciting. And obviously you gotta watch RRR, but the film that we watched this week is none other than Eega! Ooh, baby! Eega, I'm not sure which Indian language, forgive me, I'm gonna take a guess that it's Telugu. Eega means fly. It gets said a lot in this movie because I'm just going to break down the plot real quick. There's a guy named Nani, and he's in love with his neighbor named Bindu. And he's been trying to get with this girl for like 2 years, and they have a real cute sort of cat and mouse, little Pepe Le Pew action there, kind of relationship. Where we do sort of subtly find out that she's maybe into him and all is going well. But then, of course, the bad guy in town, Sudeep, who's also great in this movie, by the way, but he gets a thing for Bindu, gets jealous that she's got a thing for Nani. Lo and behold, Nani's killed. So, yes, I know, it seems like a spoiler, but the main thing that you gotta know is that's just the first 30 minutes of this 2-hour plus movie, because the bulk of this movie is about how Nani is reincarnated as a fly to seek revenge on Sudeep for killing him. So it's a crazy concept, but it really kind of is perfect, because right at the get-go, right at the top of this movie, we don't see these characters, we just hear them, but there's a little kid begging his father to tell him a bedtime story. Dad's tired. He doesn't want to tell a bedtime story, but he says, fine, okay, I'll tell you a bedtime story. And this is the story that little kid winds up hearing. And it's just stupendous. I mean, it's such a great action comedy. This movie is hilarious. I mean, yes, the premise is redonkulous, and we never try to fully make it make too much sense. We're just like, yeah, whatever. He reincarnated as a fly, and he's gonna beat this guy's ass, and it's all good. There's some really fun thing. Now that this is the fourth Rajamouli film I've seen, I'm starting to kind of really get a sense of how this guy likes to make a movie. He loves to leave breadcrumbs for us that always come together to make the most delicious bread pudding, or whatever the analogy needs, because Bindu is a miniature artist, right? She's the kind of artist that would carve a grain of rice kind of person. And it just so happens that once she finds out that Nani is in fact this fly, and that Sudeep is not crazy when he says that there's a fly trying to kill me, she puts the pieces together. Her and Nani as Eega team up to get revenge, right? Since our girl is a miniature artist, what does she do? She makes freaking armor and weapons for this little fly. Okay, the action in this movie is just out of this world. I mean, yes, it's already, you can already see the aging from the visual effects, which is fine. It really doesn't matter. It actually quite honestly adds to the charm of it because so much of the cinematography in this movie reminded me of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's a lot of macro photos and things of like, he's a little fly, so the plants and droplets of water and things are huge events for this character. But yeah, it was giving me like A Bug's Life, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Ant-Man, a lot of Ant-Man. I was getting Ant-Man vibes hardcore watching this movie, and I mean, it's way better than Ant-Man, so don't tell Kevin Feige I said that. Or do, because maybe he'll hire SS Rajamouli to make Ant-Man 17 or whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, there are some sequences, I had to write them down, that are fucking insane. There's a part where the fly is in the car with Sudeep, and he like gets the fly out of the car, and the car is now driving really far away, and you're like, how on earth is this fly ever gonna get in there? Let me tell you, the Mad Max fucking, okay, what are those things that like the game Mousetrap is? I forget what they're called, but where everything just perfectly, the domino falls and the bowling ball goes, and if you know what I'm talking about, just yell it at the screen and fill me in. But the way that this little fly gets back in that damn car and causes the craziest car accident is just a work of art. Also, in any good like revenge tale that involves fighting, we need a workout montage. And is there a workout? Yes, there's a workout montage where the little fly is bench pressing a toothpick and he's doing like resistance bands that are the springs inside of a light bulb. And he gets these cool little goggles made and these awesome little metal claws so he can whoop ass. I'm telling you, this little fly is like John Wick meets Jackie Chan with a little Buster Keaton in there because he's also hilarious. Also, I didn't mention, I know I said Pepe Le Pew, right? Nani is he wants to be really suave, right? He's a lot of slow motion of this, a lot of winking. He's all about it, right? And I can't stress enough how great it is that all of that shit is still present when he's the fly. So there'll be like a zoom in of the fly and he like does a bicep and like a hair thing, and it's very funny. This is one of the better movies on Netflix right now, so just trust me and watch it. I'm not gonna spoil too much more of it. There's a lot of Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd sort of back and forth with Sudeep and Nani. And the guy who plays Sudeep, by the way, that's his name in real life as well. He really holds this movie down, man. He winds up being the main human character in this film because he's the one who's losing sleep and just losing his mind while this fly is everywhere. He can't get away from this fly, and it's so because he's like a gangster. He's got guns and he beats people up, kills people. He doesn't give a shit. He takes his shoe off when he kills Nani because he wants to feel the life drain from his body. It's grim, right? But dude, this guy Sudeep, he holds it down, man. I never once thought that he knew that he was in a comedy. I always enjoyed getting to watch him deal with this as if it was really happening. He was really being tormented to death by a fly that nobody else seems to notice is like absolutely trying to attack him. And it's so funny how it progresses even later in the film. His security detail, they all have like electric fly swatters. It's just, this movie's very clever. I wrote down some things, but I don't want to spoil it because I don't think that everybody watching this has seen this movie. And I'm telling you, if you watched RRR and had a good time, you just got to throw this movie on. Just throw it on. Just turn it on and see what happens to you because I had a freaking blast. Because it's Indian cinema, baby, of course there's a couple dance numbers, but none are as good as the last one. And that's all I'm going to say about that. The last dance number in this movie made me so happy. I smiled, I clapped, I cheered. It's another thing I gotta just give props to Rajamouli for. I always am cheering and clapping and going, whoa, no way, no what? How is this? I don't know how he does it. He makes true crowd-pleasing movies. Now, I've been talking for a while, so I'm going to shut up, but I'm so glad we watched this movie. I hope you watch Eega as soon as possible, and then join me. Just watch all of Rajamouli's movies. I still have several to get through, but yeah, the 4 that I've seen so far, all home runs, all 10 out of 10. The guy can't miss. So I'm really happy that this awards circuit that's happening right now has Rajamouli out there being seen. J.J. Abrams just like introduced RRR and IMAX at the Grauman's Chinese Theater. So like America is coming around. North America and anywhere in the world needs to know about this man and these movies, and he should make all the movies. I'm gonna shut up. So good to see you again. Welcome to the new year. Welcome back to Film Club. We're doing it again. We'll have a new pick tomorrow. So look out next week for the next review. Follow us at Filmstruck Film Club. That's where you're gonna hear about the new picks on Instagram. You know, blah blah blah. I'll get out of here. I'll see you later. See you soon.